the session from Borhan Omar. Borhan is the Assistant Vice President UKCC HSBC Electronic Data. هيكلمنا عن ال future of CS jobs and future leaders. We are all eager to know this, and we are all ears. يا برهان, please go ahead.
Thank you. ازيكم عاملين ايه؟ انا بس حابب اعرف نفسي الاول. انا برهان، انا شغال في HSBC Assistant Vice President للContact Center. I look after UK operations في HSBC. والنهارده انا جاي اتكلم معاكم على topic انا شخصيا passionate about جدا، وهو the future of the jobs in the customer service industry. That's plus the what a future leaders normally يعني should have as qualities أكتر من skills. Starting with the customer service, يعني in order to check يعني how the future will look like, we need to just take a step back onto the history of customer service. Any business في الدنيا is built around the customers. فهم the first line of contact دايما بيبقى customer service support. Department زمان كانت mostly فروع، and زمان ده لحد يعني almost the 80s and the early 90s كان أي حد محتاج حاجة ليها علاقة بالafter sale service، أو أي حد محتاج أي حاجة ليها علاقة بالsales، كان they had to go physically into a store or a branch في حالة البنوك and ask for support or the help regarding the issue that they have. تمام. At the end of the 90s مع rise of the internet، كان ساعتها يعني اختراع جديد، ظهر اختراع اسمه VoIP أو Voice over IP. الاختراع ده فتح a whole new world of the customer service industry, that someone can make a call on the internet and it gets transferred to the phone. فمن هنا the idea of the contact centers emerged، وابتدت تاخد من الدومين بتاع ال physical customer service أو ال branches أو retail as we call it يعني. That was back in the late 90s, and the industry was booming at the start, and it started to evolve from branches handling everything to the call center or contact center is handling part of the queries, and yet there were some complicated interactions that has to be handled in the branches. But as the time goes by, technology evolved, systems evolved, and now contact centers can almost do everything, and people doesn't have to physically go there, and that really helped the people. But along with that came a whole new world of opportunities. Now we have industry كاملة is built around just serving the customers, and not only that, the industry ديت started to have inputs, data, because the systems that was developed for this industry is actually recording all the interactions happening for this industry. So people started to use this data, and what can we do with the data is just analyze it and help it, which opened a whole world of data analytics, which is something that it's booming currently, and it's part of the evolution of the industry, is analyzing those interactions, and that helps in evolving أكتر and creating more jobs and creating more career opportunities for all the companies around the industry. And now with this data and this insights that we have and this evolution that we have, other industries has started to emerge. عشان خاطر زمان كان most of the departments doesn't have that kind of communication between each other, سواء marketing, supply chain أو أي industry تانية. Now we had to have someone who can liaise this communication between people, and not only liaise that, someone that كمان has to lead projects to improve the processes and help the customer better and help the customer experience and improve the customer experience for any industry. Something emerged, and a new industry emerged called customer experience specialists, and jobs has been created for that. Customer experience jobs is around for a couple of years now, and it's booming now for customer experience managers. That currently what they are doing is actually using the data coming out from the contact centers, passing it on to the other departments, and start creating customer journeys من أول ما الكاستمر بيبقى converted للشركة أو البنك أو whatever is the corporation لحد ما بيبقى fixed customer معانا, and then the customer دوت after sales service بتاعته and everything. So they record all of that journey, they find the gaps, they find the holes, and they start working on fixing it, building projects, building everything. So this is also an industry that has been created recently in the past couple of years, and it's booming now, and it created a whole new world of opportunities and jobs. وده كله كان at the start of the evolution of the contact centers. That's currently happening. It's not even the future yet, and it's currently happening. But contact centers, like any industry, it's actually evolving, وفي حاجات جديدة بتدخل عليها, technology بتدخل عليها constantly. evolution ده بيحصل constantly. So what's happening now in دلوقتي الautomation ابتدى يدخل في الindustry. How we started to find chatbots and chat answers. لو في أي حد بيكلم مثلا أي IVR دلوقتي, ال IVR بقى فيه automated machines that can actually help sorting out your queries. The communication between the contact centers and the people who actually develops that with their skills and everything is actually booming currently, and it's creating a whole new world of jobs as well. Yet still, this kind of future is only able to handle simple queries. So those simple queries is just like حد عايز يتشيك البالانس بتاعه, حد عايز يتشيك payment, حد عايز يتشيك billing, يشوف الفاتورة بتاعته أو البريك داون بتاع الفاتورة. All of that can currently be handled by applications and automated IVRs and chatbots and everything. But still, human interaction is required, and people still, for the more complicated stuff, needs to contact someone. In order to understand this and how the future will look like, we have to have some analysis. One of the big consultancy firms في العالم يعني اسمها PricewaterhouseCoopers عملت analysis في الفترة بتاعت كوفيد ما بين 2020 و 2021. أنا عملت study. الاستادي دي كانت مينلي معموله في UK. فالاستادي outcome بيقول ان 78% من الكاستمرز still would love to have a human interaction for the more complicated stuff. Yet they would love to just have the simple stuff done by themselves, يعني self services, by just having an application to submit details, change information, doing payments, checking bills and stuff. But yet for the more complicated stuff, بيبقوا محتاجين يتكلموا مع human interaction. And part of that study as well بيقول إن 78% دولت 40% منهم they started to prefer live chat عن إن هم يتكلموا مع بني آدم over the phone, which has created a whole new line of business. It's been around for a while, but now it's booming. The whole new line of business created new jobs and requires new skills. Not only that you need to develop communication skills and need to develop empathy and some skills related to handling customers. لا, أنت دلوقتي محتاج تتعلم تعمل ده through writing and live chatting with someone and have typing skills. And that created a whole new world of jobs. And that is promising in the future. لأن the current satisfaction rate in the UK من live chat is around 73%, which is a high satisfaction rate, and that is indicating in the future is coming towards that. That's part of the stuff that you need to start preparing yourself to if you need to be engaged in the customer service industry. One other channel that was mentioned in this study, and it started happening now, is video chats like this one. في ناس دلوقتي started to offer even here هنا في مصر started to offer video chat as a channel and they want people to communicate. فدلوقتي الناس they need to gain skills even more, not only just empathy and typing and communication skills. They need to develop it face to face, but through virtual video. And that also created a whole new world of jobs globally. And it started to emerge in Egypt بقالها سنة أو سنتين تقريبا هنا في مصر. I started to see corporations بتعمل فروع كاملة built for video chat. You can just walk in any time of the day, request for help, يطلع لك حد على الفيديو, and then you start chat on the video. Developing mobile applications that can help the customers is now part of our day-to-day activity. يعني دلوقتي there is an app for everything. Who better actually يعني in order to engage in such industry عشان to develop application, you should have the background, you should be some graduate from computer science or had with a development background or app development background. But yet kicking off start your career by understanding the customer because you are the person who is actually talking to them is going to make it easier for you. You're going to know what to reach for when you are developing your user interface. And following that, the applications نفسها, and after emerging this industry, we started to need people who give input للdevelopers دولت. والناس ديت هو الناس اللي أنا اتكلمت عليهم من شوية, customer experience specialists and customer experience managers. We started to need people to test the beta versions on people with customer service background برضو. started to have jobs for someone called user acceptance testers. They test the beta version, they give their feedback, and they start doing that. Actually الابلكيشنز والديفلوبمنت بتاعها نفسه بقى متقسم لبرودكتس. بقى كل سيكشن جوه الابلكيشن بقى عباره عن product on its own. يعني مثلا help section is a product, payment section is a product, self services section is a product. وكل product من دولت بيبقى محتاج حد to look after it and to manage it and to give the direction للengineers from a customer experience background. والناس دي بقى اسمهم product managers, which has created a whole new world of jobs. كل evolution ده, it's actually happening now, and this is what the future look like. And a lot of people that I used to work with and a lot of leaders that I used to know are currently emerging from the contact center and going into those new jobs. That's in addition to the jobs that actually the contact center as an industry created from the frontliners who are the core and soul of this. الناس اللي هم بيتكلموا مع customers سواء على voice channels, chat channels, replying to the emails, plus the leaders who manage them, plus the managers who manage them, plus supporting functions, the people who audit their quality, the people who actually plan for the schedules, everything. There is a whole world behind this industry that has a lot of jobs for you and a lot of future for you, يعني. And it's staying, يعني, and it's surely an industry that has a lot to offer. طيب, what else the industry has? This customer experience job that I was talking about ليها علاقة برضو بالprocess improvement. So الناس اللي من contact center background started to expose themselves to learning skills ليها علاقة process improvement theories زي Six Sigma that they can apply during their job. الproduct management اللي اتكلمت عليه, people they handle this on project base. Started to study PMP and started to evolve into being project managers, handling projects to develop their products. Yeah, that's pretty much what the future holds for the contact center. I've been in this industry for 12 years. I learned a lot. Most of the stuff اللي أنا اتكلمت عنه حاجات أنا already اشتغلتها بإيدي. I know that it's there, and I'm sure that whoever is wanting to kickstart his career in contact center will land somewhere around this, inshallah, يعني. But the most important part is for those people to have a good environment to work on. and to make sure that someone take care of them, we should have amazing leaders in the future. We currently have amazing leaders. We have always had amazing leaders. But leader of the future should have some qualities to him or to her. انا مش هتكلم على سكيلز، مش هتكلم على ان انت المفروض تروح تدرس MBA او المفروض تروح تدرس PMP او المفروض تروح تدرس 6 سيجما or whatever. لا، انا هتكلم على الكواليتيز that you as a person should have in you and should develop in you to be an amazing leaders. Most of these qualities, and that's purely based on my personal experience, that I think it's the best qualities can have, a leader can have. And I worked with amazing leaders. I'm still working actually with amazing leaders, and those qualities should be around how a leader can inspire actions, and how a leader can reward people for their efforts and for their behavior, not just for the results. And for a leader to do that, في حد who is a very famous speaker and author في الكتب ليها علاقة بالleadership اسمه سايمون سينيك. ما اعرفش انتوا حد اتفرج عليه قبل كده ولا لا يعني، بس he developed something called the golden circle. والgolden circle ديت كانت developed by him based on his research about why the amazing leaders are just leaders. When you follow them, ليه محمد صلاح as a leader in his discipline and sport reached what he reached? ليه Muhammad Ali Clay became the GOAT of the boxing world? ليه Steve Jobs and Apple became a leader in the computers industry? And after this study, he found out in the NAS, they are thinking in the same pattern. All those amazing leaders, they are thinking in the same pattern. And this pattern is different from anyone else. They are thinking it from inside out. يعني محمد صلاح وهو بيفكر ان هو عايز يبقى احسن لعيب كوره في تاريخ الكوره المصريه، لان ما فيش حد في تاريخ الكوره المصريه وصل للي هو وصل له، او محمد علي كلاي ما حدش وصل للفيم اللي هو وصل له في السبورت. هما ما كانوش بيفكروا في ان انا I will get a lot of money, I will be famous. These were results for them. This is the outcome that they gained from what they think. But what they really thought of is from the inside out is, why am I doing this? خلاص. لو اي حد تابع الشوز او اللي الناس ديت بتتكلم فيها، هتلاقيهم كلهم they are always thinking the same. محمد صلاح لما اتسال هو ايه الناس بتقارنك بكريستيانو والناس بتقارنك بميسي، بس انت what do you think who is better in the sport؟ هو قال انا I'm not in a place of comparison. In my head I'm always the best and I think that I am the best. And that's why he's really going for that. That's why he's willing to push the effort, to take the risks. That's why he's inspiring action. He's moving into the action phase. His stuff is not always dreams. It's just he thinks, he really believes that he is the best. And that's why people are following him. That's why people are cheering for him. That's why people are believing in that he is the best in the sport. Same as Muhammad Ali في الانترفيوز بتاعته، هو كان بيقعد دايما يقول I am the GOAT, I am the greatest of all time. I knew it before I even play the sport. So he really believes that he is the greatest. And he wanted to be the greatest. And he actually became the greatest leader of all time when it comes to the sport. Same as for Apple, مثلا, for example, Apple as an industry leader, يعني Samsung offers what Apple offers, even more. Huawei, Oppo, all the mobile companies offer what Apple offers. But why Apple is still the leader? Why Apple is the most valued company? Why Apple? Because they believe, and they really believe, that they are here to change the status quo. They are selling the idea. And people normally follow you for what you believe in, not what you do. And that's a quality that a future leader should have. ناس كتير بتيجي تسالني مثلا قبل ما يبقوا داخلين انترفيو just for guidance for talk انا داخل انترفيو بتاع operations manager او انترفيو HR manager او كده what should I say انا دايما لما باجي اديهم advice I don't tell them it's not what you should say. Do you really want to do this? Do you believe that you can do this? And if you answer this between you and yourself in front of the mirror, at this point, you really believe that you can do it, so you are willing to do whatever it takes. You're putting the time, you're putting the effort, and people will follow you for this. That's one quality. I think this is how leaders should inspire action, because when they believe in something, they move into the action phase, people will follow them on it. People also, our future leaders should also reward behavior. It's not just the result, it's how the people doing it, which is yani, one of the best qualities that I pride myself having, because I work in HSBC GSC, is that not only that we reward people for the results, we reward on how they do it, الbehavior بتاعهم. I work with an amazing leader. I always worked with her for the past couple of years, and she always appreciated the effort that I put in the work that I do. No matter the result out, I came to her with crazy ideas that didn't show effort for results from the first trial, but she always believed that I do that with a good intent. And because she believed in me, I was willing to put extra efforts and reiterate on the ideas and we came up with a lot of good results. So believe and inspire the action, and people will follow you as a leader in the future. And reward the behavior. And the one last advice for future leaders is just give yourself and your team the space to be creative. And I've experienced this myself. I gave my team the space to be creative, and my leader gave me the space to be creative, and that came up with a lot of ideas that reached an actual tangible outcome on ground, from cost saving to developing features جديدة في applications, to having teams, to doing stuff, developing people. So future leader should give himself and herself the space to be creative, and also the team to be creative, and not to oppress the ideas. بالعكس, listen to ideas. People has a lot to offer. And yeah, that was the last advice for the future leaders from my end. I'm going to pause here and receive questions if you want to ask anything. I think the first question we have here, حد بيقول, what are the qualifications of good leader when deals with stress and issues? طيب, it's not qualifications, it's again qualities. Handling stress is embedded in any job, and handling issues is embedded in any job. عشان if there was no issues, يعني why are we here? We're here to sort the issues and make the customer experience better. It's not about the qualifications. It's about the ability to focus and make sure that you review the issue and review the stressful situation that you have, draft the root causes, make sure that you come up with solutions through consulting the right people, and afterwards you can just pass on to the solution phase and put this into action. This is the steps of actually how you can be a good leader in the stressful times and issues. And also, as an advice, always do not bear the stress alone, but do not let other people bear the stress for you. يعني انت ما تشيلش الستريس ده لوحدك، بس ما تخليش الناس تهندل الستريس ده for you. Always act as a team. whether you as a leader or the people who's actually in your team and working with you, just make sure that you're all onboarded on the issue, onboarded on the stressful situation. You know the outcome that you're expecting, and you know what you're doing with the steps that I just said. And then you will move into the implementation phase, and the stressful situation and issue will pass. And everyone will just follow you and love you just because you inspired the action on this, and you made sure that you reward and appraise your people after the situation is passing. I hope I answered your question. How to make sure that the leader is guiding me correctly? Okay, that's a good question, actually. So by the time you join any job, you're definitely knowing ايه indicators بتاعت شغلك يعني، او ايه indicators that your شغلك is measured upon. لو انت شايفه ان انت رايحه ناحيه indicators دي properly after following the guidance of your leader، تمام، who is doing it in a very compliant and legit matter. Once you follow the steps and you're going into the right direction and your learning curve is rising للحته الصح, at this time you will know that your leader is guiding you correctly. But the next step after you reach the outcome that you're required, your leader should be actually investing on you, investing in you, and making sure that your skills is being developed to whatever next steps from the million steps that we mentioned earlier in the presentation. If that is happening, your leader is definitely guiding you correctly. Any other questions? How to inspire the team if I am a team manager? Okay, I'm gonna get back to one of the qualities that I spoke about is, هل انت did you join the job as a team manager because you believe that you need to make an impact في حياة الناس ديت ولا لا؟ And I know that the title is lucrative, I know that the salary is lucrative and everything, but it's just about the belief itself. If you really believe that what you're doing is right, you will always do the action first and your team will follow. يعني بمعنى in our industry مثلا, as contact centers, if you just wanted someone to take a hard call and handle a complaint, you will do it yourself قبل ما تقول للشخص اعمل كذا. يعني you will just get him to shadow you doing this action in specific that you want him to do, and this is how you inspire him. So actions speaks louder than anything, and you will not move into that phase unless you really believe and trust yourself that this is your why. Any other questions? ازاي اكون مثال للتيم بتاعي؟ ساعات بفقد اعصابي وده مش صح. Well, that's also a good question. We've all been there. We're even all been there. حتى في البيت for those who are dads يعني and moms. Controlling your temper is part of the job. And for you to control your temper, you should know your team well, and you should teach them well. You should get them to learn the proper skills well before you reach the point of breaking your nerve. يعني انت تاني التيم بتاعك قبل ما تبتدي تحاسبه على اي حاجه، او قبل ما تبتدي تقول له اي حاجه هو ما عملهاش، انت المفروض تبقى واخد ستيب باك وميك شور ان التيم ممبر بتاعك is empowered enough بكل النولج اللي المفروض ياخدها، السكيلز اللي المفروض تاخدها، او كل التولز اللي تقدر تساعده او تساعدها ان هو يعمل الشغل properly. ف if you've done that part, when your team comes and tell you that they did something wrong at work, search for the reason first. هل هو حاجة ليها علاقة بأن أنت you missed teaching them البارت ده خلاص ولا that's because a lack of focus ولا ده because of a lack of commitment, whatever is the root cause, and then you move into the action phase. So always take a step back, investigate the incident first, and then move into the action phase. يعني مش مجرد ما يحصل مشكلة تفقد أعصابك وتبتدي تتحرك ناحية taking an action. Interview steps in HSBC, GSC, please. I think my dear colleague Passant covered this in the morning, but we can go through it once more. It depends on the job. في definitely CV screening, في definitely phone screening and HR screening, an interview. ده بيبقى the first 3 steps. بعد كده حسب بقى الشغل هل هي technical interview على طول ولا في محتاجين assessment لسكيل معينة أو حاجة معينة، فده بيبقى depends على ال vacancy نفسها. بس yeah, that's pretty much everything related to the interviewing steps. And just being conscious of time, I think in احنا we ran out of it. Thank you guys, and thank you for having me, and thank you Lingua Talent for actually organizing this.
Thank you so much يا برهان. بجد انا على المستوى الشخصي استمتعت جدا بالinspirational tips اللي انت قلتها، و I personally received like messages even على الواتساب دلوقتي they are very happy about it. thank you so much والله about it. يعني احنا from time to time كده محتاجين نسمع حد يدينا كده positive vibes ومدينا positive inspirational tips ان move it في حياتنا عموما العمليه، ازاي نتعامل مع التيم والحاجات دي كلها. ففعلا يعني انا ممتن ليك جدا على وجودك معانا النهارده على المنصه، وان شاء الله يعني تشرفنا دايما، وفخور انك معانا في الايفنت بتاعنا.
Thank you حبيبي. Thank you. انا كمان مبسوط. اشوفكم ان شاء الله.
شكرا باذن الله. باي باي.